What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I got a pretty good one for you today. A little bit different what I was planning on doing. I actually had planned to go do something pretty cool at my uncle's house, doing a little bit of riding, and there's somebody there hunting today, so we're going to shift gears a little bit, and I'm going to show you all the new project I just picked up yesterday. So like a lot of people, I was bored and scrolling the old Facebook Marketplace, and I came across a deal I guess you could say I couldn't refuse. So I'm just going to go and show you guys so you can all check it out. It is a 2002 RM85, and it's in great shape. Yeah, no, it's not. So I got a really good deal on it, I think. At the end of the video, I'll kind of tell you guys how much I paid for it, and y'all can tell me if I did good, did bad, not worth fixing. And it's one of those things to where the more and more you look at this thing, it's just like the worst it looks. The more problems you see. I mean, it looks to me like a young kid had this thing, tore it all apart, put it all back together with some bolts he found laying around the floor and whatnot. So I haven't looked at this thing a whole lot. I got it home yesterday and it was kind of late, so it was getting dark, so I just rolled it in the garage and left it there. So we're going to kind of be checking it out together, and we're all going to see together just how rough this thing is. So there's a few things I'm seeing that I didn't see when I bought it, but it is what it is. I feel like I got a good enough deal on it to where it doesn't really matter what all it needs. I should come out ahead. So I'm not really looking to sell this thing either. It's just going to be something I keep in the basement and just play around on, do some wheelies around the yard, and once my son's a little bit older, maybe this will be his next bike. So, and something for him to tinker around with, and just get out there and work on something, and just have something to mess with. So without further ado, let's go. I guess we'll start at the front and work our way back. This thing's a dime, let me tell you. So first off, I have never in my life seen a tire on the front look that bad. That is ridiculous. I don't understand. Now the rear, I've seen that before, but somebody to wear a front tire out like that is just crazy. So luckily for me, he threw a new tire in with the bike when I got it. So there's that. Rotors are a little rusty. I know the front brake works because I use it to unload the bike, so I know it at least does something. Let's see the wheel bearings. Shot, nice. Fork seals, great shape. Those should be fine. There's no oil, so that means that they're definitely empty. So there's that. Let's see. It does have the I haven't ran the VIN number yet, but I know 0102 was where they went from an 80 to an 85. From just doing 5 minutes of research, they say the 80s, the 0180s and older had the inverted forks. So I'm pretty confident this is an 85. I still got to run the VIN to make sure, but hopefully it is. Or maybe it is an 80 and they just swapped on a different set of forks. So one thing I've seen here, looks like they took the bleeder screws out and then just like stripped in some random hardware. So that's nice. That's definitely what you want. This fork here is turned. That's fine. No cables. No throttle cable. No clutch cable. Maybe somebody robbed it off for parts. Maybe that's why this guy bought it, was for parts. So I'll go and tell you guys too the listing. It said it needed a carburetor boot from the airbox to the carburetor. And it needed, what else did it say? A top end. That's a pretty big one. It said it needs top end. It does have a little decent compression. I don't think for sure it needs a top end completely, but we're going to throw one on there. Obviously needs all the plastics. Tank's in decent shape. There's like a coating of oil all over this thing. So it looks like he washed it and then used some of that Maxim cleaner. Can't think of the name of it, but it looks like it's got about 2 cans sprayed on there, so she's nice and slick. So there's that. Like I said, handlebars. These are not factory handlebars. They're like for a full size. Got a nice little bend there. That's custom for sure. Radiator. I thought the radiator was in good shape, but she's definitely mashed in a little bit. Can definitely run that. Probably ought to straighten out a lot of these fins. A lot of them are bent in. Missing a motor mount bolt there. And I noticed when I bought it too, somebody started taking, that's what kind of scares me a little bit. It looks like somebody was about to pull the motor. So hopefully not for a bottom end. I don't think it needs a bottom end, but anyways, seat's in a great shape, other than I just noticed this. We're not going to worry about that. But if you're looking at the good things, you got to look at the good things sometimes and not just all the bad. We got us a nice FMF power core too. Slightly bent, but we can fix that. We got this nice seat. The tank is in good shape. It's just definitely needs cleaned. That should clean up. Rear tire's in good shape. It's flat, but decent shape. And actually, he brought another tire with it, and I gave him $50 for it. So here it is here, and it is an aggressive tire. But I looked them up. They're $70 new, so I gave him $50. So I couldn't pass that up. Here's the front tire he threw in. It's not new, but it's slightly better shape than the one that's on there. It's missing a header. That's unfortunate. He didn't give that to me. So it needs a header. Let's see. See if I see anything else. Okay, yeah, I noticed this too. So whenever I was looking at it, I was like, well, let me check the transmission out, see if it shifts through the gears and all that. So I put it in gear, went to go roll it forward, and it was making this crazy sound. And I'm like, oh man, this transmission's shot. Like there's something major going on in here. Got to looking. Have you all ever seen a sprocket in that bad a shape? Look at this. It was actually the chain just stripping around the sprocket, just from putting it in gear and rolling it back and forth. Front one, yeah, it's not any better shape. It's definitely pretty rough. So we know we need sprockets. We know we need all the plastics, front to back, handlebars, cables, clutch cable, throttle cable. Now let's look at the top end. So it was listed saying needs top end. Obviously I can feel it has a little bit of compression, but I don't know if you guys seen it yet. But if you look here, we're missing 2 nuts on the head, and actually those have been just cut off. They're like studs they put in there. I know I've seen pictures of these, and it's actually bolts that go in here. It looks like somebody's cut the ends off and just put nuts on. Looks like they just found this nut laying on their garage floor somewhere and threaded it on there. So does it need a top end, or is it just the fact that there's only 2 nuts holding the head on? I mean, that's definitely something to look at. The jug, this nut over here just has a lock washer under it. Not sure what that's about. I'm assuming the threads are messed up, so they put a lock washer on there to get to the good threads. Some random hoses for the radiator that are kinked, so you know that was flowing pretty good. Good old Champion spark plug. What else we got here? Brake lever broke off custom. Let's check out, see if the case looks okay. Looks good. Oh no. You guys see that? Oh no. I should have checked that. I didn't even think to look at that. Oh, that's unfortunate. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'll try to tilt it over. If y'all can look, see there, that is JB Weld all over the bottom of the case. If you guys can get a good look at that. I know better to check that because years ago my buddy bought a bike that was the exact same way. And it's kind of funny, we messaged the guy later like, hey, did you know about this? And he said, oh no, when I drained the oil I just took the side cover off and tilted it over on its side. It's like, oh. So that's unfortunate. It doesn't, let me see. It kind of looks like it's just around the bolt. So maybe it's just the bolt stripped out, and that we can fix that as long as the case doesn't have like a giant crack in it or something. That should be fine. All right, well, there's that. I guess we'll look at the parts he gave it to me with it. He threw in this piston. He said this have a 2016 RM85, a used one. So I mean, it's in decent shape. But if I'm gonna tear it apart, I might as well put a brand new one in there. So there's that. Threw in the skid plate, free. I already showed you all the tires. Here's the box. I haven't even looked in here yet. He said all. So that's something that kind of I think's a little weird. Is he said all the electronics he pulled off of it before he washed it. So I don't know why he would do that, but supposedly he pulled all the electronics off, and supposedly they're in here. I didn't really look. There's, yep, coil covered in black tape and loom, so you know that wire's in great shape. Okay, looking good. Oh no. Oh my gosh. Wow. That is something else right there. I have never seen a carburetor look that bad. It's like it's actually deteriorating around the outside. That is crazy. Even if I was able to free that slide up, I don't think. Wow. Alright, so we're going to need a carburetor. I don't even know if this is worth trying to fix. I mean, I could soak it in something and try to pull it apart. Even the choke is completely froze up. So that tells me this bike's probably sat outside for a really long time. So, okay, that's unfortunate. I got the rest in here. That's nice. There's that motor mount bolt. That's missing. Kill switch. Okay, well. So I still don't think we did bad. Definitely seeing the two major issues is that drain bolt being JB welded and the fact that carburetor looks like it sat in the bottom of the ocean. So definitely the two big negatives. Top end, no big deal. Bottom end, a little more expensive, no big deal. Oh, this is broke too. Where the clutch cable goes. Oh, no, that's actually part of the case too. That side cover. I had to figure out something about that. Oh well, we ain't gonna worry about that right now. Missing water pump bolt. See, like I said, the more you look at this thing, just the more and more stuff you see wrong. Let's check out the rear brakes. Caliper's in good shape, a little rusty. Okay. There's only one brake pad in there. How does that happen? And it's the inside one. How's that possible? It's literally, I can just see the piston in there. There's no pad at all. Okay. That bleeder screw is like stripped in there sideways. What in the world? So we got some work to do. So probably gonna do like a 3-part video on this thing, maybe. Kind of going over in the first part what all is wrong with it. Second part will probably be tearing it apart, and then third part hopefully putting it back together. So not all sure yet what all it's going to take. Hopefully, like I said, I'll just throw a top end on there, plastics, sprockets, clutch cable, brake cable, front wheel bearing. Let's check the. Got a little bit of play in the rear. It's not too bad. Go ahead and save both wheel bearings, front and back. What else? Try to fix that drain bolt. Gonna have to order a carburetor because I don't think there's any fixing that. I mean, even if I was able to get that cleaned up, it's so pitted and scarred up that would just there's no way that throttle slide would slide, especially since even the chokes all froze up. So hopefully all the electronics are in good shape. We can throw all that stuff back on there. Gonna have to order this boot. He said the boot was missing. You don't have that. The boot that goes from here to the carburetor. Got to order a header. So I'll go ahead and tell you guys how much I paid for it. So it was listed on Marketplace for $775. Definitely a little much, but it's marked down to $675. I messaged the guy and said, hey, asked him a few questions on it, got to know it a little bit, and I was like, hey, I'll give you $500 today. And he's like, okay, but I have somebody who wants to meet me and give me full price. I'm like, okay. I was like, I don't need the bike. It's just going to be for me to mess around with. Winter's coming up. Just going to be a little project to work on. And so I told him, I was like, if that guy's wanting to give you full price, go for it, man. I was like, go sell it to him. That's no big deal to me. If he passes on it, let me know. Shoot me a text tomorrow or something, and then maybe we'll make a deal. 5 minutes later, he texts back, if you can meet today, I'll take even less. So I don't really understand his negotiation because I was already planning on meeting him that day for $500. He then says, okay, if you can meet me, I'll take $400 or take less. So I was like, okay, $400 and I'll head your way. He's like, deal. So I gave him $400. I gave him an extra $50 for that rear tire he threw in. So this is what we got for $450. It's definitely a little rough. There's a couple things I didn't see, obviously, when I was looking at it. I noticed that the head bolts are missing. I seen the sprockets were messed up when I was there, but I definitely didn't see that drain bolt. I definitely didn't see how bad that carburetor was. But the way I see it, with only having $400 in it, $450 with the tire, if I have to sink $600-700 in it, it's not that big of a deal. Buying a new carburetor, I'm gonna go ahead and pull the top end off and check it out. Obviously, if you can see all the, I'm not trying to talk bad on anybody's work, but you can see the stripped out bolts here, the wrong bolts and everything, the stripped out bleeder and the brake caliper. You know, whoever worked on this thing didn't know the most that they could. I mean, their mechanic work was a little shoddy at best. So, especially since it looks like they've been into the top end, we might as well take that apart and check it out. So, I don't know. Comment down below, see what you guys think. See if it's worth fixing. If it's a $400 bike that I could throw back on Facebook and part it out, maybe sell a few parts off of it, sell the frame, swing arm, wheels, tires, well, the new tires. I don't know. But I think the next part, if I decide to work on it, we're going to go ahead and pull the top end off, check it out, see how everything looks, and then we'll have to go from there. So let me know what you guys think. I appreciate everybody watching. Everybody's been watching the videos, commenting on them, and it's been pretty cool. So I appreciate everybody watching them. Thanks, guys. We'll holler at you next time. So I wanted to add in one more thing. I don't know about you guys, but every Suzuki two-stroke I've ever ridden or known somebody to have, the suspension has just been terrible on it. And this bike's no different. So I already showed you the front forks. There's no fork oil in them. Let me show you this back. I did notice this whenever I picked the bike up. Check this out. There's no shock left in there. I mean, it practically jumps off the ground. So that's definitely going to need addressed. There's that. And also another thing, it just keeps getting worse. I'll show you guys this. These pegs, I'll show you this side, completely shot. They're so wore out, they're drooping down. So there's that. So yeah, we got our work cut out for us. So anyways, guys, I appreciate everybody watching. We're just gonna tinker around with this thing, see what we can figure out, see what all's wrong with it, and get a list together, see what all parts we're gonna need. But I appreciate everybody watching. I'll holler at you later.